Hi, my name is Amanda. You guys know me with Easy Life Organizing, your go-to organizing expert. And so this month of January, our theme that we've been talking about already so much is goals. And so I wanted to bring on my goal expert, Allie Phillips. Allie, why don't you just introduce yourself to everybody and we'll go from there.
Okay, this is going to take like 30 minutes, so I think y'all just need to get comfortable and settle in and get like a hot cup of tea, because I am not easy to describe. So I own a health and wellness business called Manifested Harmony, and I am here in the Lansing area, but I actually work globally because a lot of what I do is online. And I am certified. I've lost track of how many certifications I have at this point.
I wrote it out once, and it was a giant poster board.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But I am certified as a health coach in various energy healing modalities. I'm a master teacher. I'm an advanced crystal master teacher because I studied the science. I'm a certified life coach. I'm a certified law of attraction coach. I've kind of lost track. But I'm also an attorney. I've been an attorney for 28 years, specializing in criminal prosecution. So it's like, well, what does that have to do with health and wellness? Well, it was a very stressful career, and I've spent a lot of the time teaching and traveling to conferences to teach on my specialty, which is animal abuse and family violence, so not really fun topics. And it was hurting my health and my wellness, and so I've really spent the last 15 years diving into health and wellness, and part of that about having a healthy body, healthy emotions, healthy spirituality, but it's also having a healthy mindset. And the number one thing that will eat a goal for breakfast is a bad mindset.
Yes. Oh my goodness. That is Allie is such a great person and such a, in my opinion, a pillar in my community.
I am awesome. I'm just kidding.
So today we're going to talk a little bit about goals. And so I know a lot of you guys have heard me talking about goals, types of goals. And so I just want to make this an open-ended conversation, really, and I want to bring Allie into the picture and give us her side of things that, so what do you do when you help people with goals? What are some of the things that you recommend, things that people should do?
So, yeah, this is a big topic. At the beginning of every year, I actually teach a 3-hour class that comes with a workbook to help people goal set. And you may be thinking, that's kind of complicated. It kind of is. It's not just simply saying, what's a goal? What's a goal that most people...
I'm going to lose 20 pounds.
Yeah. So it's not just simply saying, I'm going to lose 20 pounds. And then you get to mid-February, not only have you forgotten about that goal, because you didn't do anything, but once you remember, then you're depressed. And it's like, well, okay, I'll start again next year. Okay, so then you piddle around for 10 and a half months, and you come back and you do it all again. So to me, it's about the daily steps, the daily action. It's not looking at the end goal, it's the journey of getting there. And it's enjoying the journey. Because if you don't enjoy the journey, you're not going to do it. So if you say to yourself, if you literally have a mindset that you have to go to the gym and work out an hour a day in order to lose that weight, like if that's your thought, and if you don't like going to the gym, you're not going to do it. But if you have the thought that I'm going to lose weight because I'm going to change what I eat, I'm going to stop eating ice cream or a bag of potato chips every evening when I'm watching a Hallmark movie. Like, I'm going to break that pattern. And if that's enjoyable to you, to say, this is what I'm going to change, then you're actually going to do it. You're going to do it. But I also help people understand that it's like there's a process. A lot of times we set a goal because we want to have something. We want to have something. We want to have a car. We want to have a house. We want to have a certain amount of money in our bank account. We want to have a certain body type. But when you can back it up and first focus on who do you want to be? Who do you want to be? So let's talk about that weight goal.
Yeah.
Why do you want to lose 20 pounds? Who will it make you be? Will you be more confident? Will you feel better about yourself? Will you have better self-esteem? That's where you start. Focus on who do you want to be. Then, once you figure out who do you want to be, then it's what do you want to have? And then after that, it's what do you want to do? And people usually do it backwards.
Yes, they start with the what first. You gotta start with the why.
Yeah.
Start with the why.
Yeah, and that's a big thing because if you don't have a strong why, when you are challenged, and believe me, you're going to be challenged from day one on any goal. It's like that little voice inside your head is going to say, "You can't do that. What are you doing? Stop that! Stop that right now! What are you doing? What are you doing? You cannot do that. Don't change." It's just like the ego part of your brain that wants to keep you safe. The inspirational part of your brain, like your true inner voice, is always inspiring and inspirational, but that ego voice is always taking over. So in order to silence it, you have to have a very strong why. And I actually take people through a 7-layer process.
7 layers.
7 layers,
Wow.
because you need to ask yourself, why do you want to lose 20 pounds? And maybe the first answer is so that I can fit in those jeans that I had 5 years ago. Okay. Why do you want to fit in those jeans? Because I get compliments when I wear them. Why is getting compliments important to you? Because it makes me feel good about myself. Why is it important for you to feel good about yourself? Because then I go through my days more inspired. I'm happier. Why is it important to be happy? Because frankly, I've been a grumpy face to my family for years. I've been a grumpy face. And why do you not want to be a grumpy face to your family? Because I want to be a good wife and mom. Boom, there is your why for why you want to lose weight. You gotta dig. You gotta dig. You have to go. They say you dig until you cry about your why.
It's so true because like the first few layers of that, I was like, oh, those make sense, and it's like, wow, as you get deeper,
Yeah.
it starts to really hit you in your heartstrings a lot more. You're like,
Yeah.
this is really why.
Yeah, and you could go in even deeper. Because I did this with somebody, and she finally got to the point where she said, I don't want to die prematurely. I want to watch my 3-year-old graduate from high school, graduate from college, be successful, start a family. I want to be around. And she was in tears. I love it when people cry. I love it when people cry. It's like, if you're not crying, you're not digging deep enough.
Oh my gosh.
So it's like I just got goosebumps. So it's like you have to get really clear, and then when you dig down to that why, it's like peeling an onion. You got to get to that little sweet spot in the center of the onion, and when you do, you will never give up. You will never give up, because when you have a big goal, not like a little one, but a big one, you take a step every day toward it. Every day. Every day. On your birthday, on holidays, on vacations, when you need a day off, you're still doing something every day because you're making it a habit. And that's the thing about a big goal. You have to make it a habit. So it has to be enjoyable. You have to know why you're doing it so that when you're thrown off track, you immediately get back on. There's a lot of layers.
So many layers. I heard somebody once on a podcast say, if you can win the day, you can win the week. If you win the week, you win the month. If you win the month, you win the quarter. You win the quarter, you win the year. So it starts at the beginning. Every single day you maintain those habits. So that's amazing. We want to get down to our why. And that's pretty much essentially when we're not achieving our goals, it's because we don't have a good why. Or what's, in my opinion, when we don't achieve our goals, it's because they're too big and you're not focusing on what's in your control. So I like to focus on what is inside of your control. Losing your weight, there's a lot of outside factors to that. There's parties you go to. There are cookouts in the summertime. There is, depression that's insane for everybody. And so there's a lot of outside factors. So for me, I tell people, focus on what's inside of your control. What are the things that you have 90 to 100% of control over to reach those goals, to get to those steps? So I focus a lot on process versus outcome. So quick rundown for me. Process is things that are 90 to 100% in your control. What are the things that you can do that require nobody else to do? Outcome goals, those big, hairy, audacious goals, the really big things that we want to be able to do. Lose the 50 pounds. What are steps that you're going to do to get to there? You want to, in my opinion, you use more process than outcome goals. Even when you're on that goal ladder. Want to lose 50 pounds, what are the steps to get there? More process, because it's going to make you feel so much better. Keep going.
Yeah, because it's, if your goal has any aspect that is dependent on other people, you can't control other people. Oh my gosh, if we could, we'd be millionaires. I know, right? We can't control other people at all, but you can control yourself. You can control yourself, and you can control what's up here. And every action is a result of a thought that you choose to have. So many people that I talk to, they're like, but I have these out of control thoughts, and I'm afraid, and I'm nervous, and I'm unsure. And I'm like, because you're choosing that. You can choose to take a step, like you said, a little step, a little baby step. But you can't make people do what you want them to do. That's, we're not puppet masters. We can't do that. So, if you have your own business, you can't guarantee that next client, but you can guarantee what you do. So, reaching out to somebody, being on social media, letting people know what you do in a really easy way, going to networking events, talking to people, having a business card that's up on a business board at a coffee shop. Those are things in your control that you can do, but you can't control the other people. But you can take the steps, and that's with any goal. There are things that are within your control. That's what you focus on. That's what you focus on. So like losing weight. A lot of people set weight loss goals at the beginning of the year. Here's a hint, I'm going to tell you. Set your weight loss goal April 1st. You want to know why? In the winter, I don't care where you live. You could live in Orlando, Florida. In the winter, we have less sunlight, right?
Yeah.
Our body is hardwired to pack on the weight for hibernation. We are meant to hibernate in the winter. If you start starving your body, guess what you're going to do? You're going to gain more weight because your brain is going to say, store the fat, store the fat, store the fat, because this person doesn't have enough food to get through the winter. Store the fat. You will not lose weight in the winter. Set your weight loss goals April 1st.
So instead of saying January 1st, I'm going to lose 50 pounds this year. Say I'm going to lose 50 pounds this year, but don't start that till April 1st.
Right, yeah. Like, don't even put that in your brain.
It's not a 12-month goal anymore. It's a 9-month goal. I did math right.
Yeah. I actually do my goals in 90 days.
Ooh,
I do them in 90 days, which I'll talk about in a second. But with that weight loss goal, what is in your control? The food that you bring into your house, the party that you go to.
Yes.
So if you set your weight loss goal April 1st and you get invited to a Cinco de Mayo party and it's like, ooh, tequila and tacos, ooh, yum, that sounds really good. It's like, okay. You can eat before you go so that you don't gorge on the food. I love me a good taco. But it's like, if I do not want to be eating 49 tacos, I'm going to eat before I go so that maybe I have one. That you can control.
There you go.
That you can control. And that's the thing, that's such a good point. Control what you can for the things that you can't.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, I love that. So you set goals in 90-day increments. I do as well. So I set monthly, quarterly, and annual goals. So I do the same thing. So do you not set annuals? Are you just strictly quarterly?
No, I do set an annual, but when that is such a big goal,
Yes.
that like if you were to look at it over a 365-day period, when you're on day one, it's like, oh my gosh, it's so far away. I'll start next week. It's easy to put it off.
Yeah.
When you have a 1 month goal, you can start the bite-sized pieces. But when you set a quarterly goal, to me that is the sweet spot.
Okay.
Because the goal is not too small, not too big, and it's not such a big time span to where you can have the excuse of putting it off. And so I actually went through a training program about 6 years ago, and it was called the 90-day year. And I paid a ridiculous amount of money for it, but I'll tell you, it was totally worth it. And now I get to teach people the little snippets about it. But if you pick one big goal for 90 days, one, not two, not four, one big goal for 90 days. You break that 90-day goal into 1, 2, 3 big things that have to happen to reach that goal. And then with each of those, basically, I call them buckets. It's like, okay, I got to fill this bucket and this bucket and this bucket, and when I fill them, I'm going to reach my goal. Within each bucket, you do the little tasks, the little day-to-day.
Okay.
So let's say, I don't know, let's pick another goal.
I'm gonna pick a business goal. So I'm gonna say I want 3 months. I want to earn $30,000.
Okay, big goal, $30,000. All right. First bucket may be, okay, what do I need to do? I need to grow my clientele by, let's say, 10 new clients. Okay, 10 new clients, that's the bucket. Now, what do you got to put in the bucket to get 10 new clients?
Okay.
You pick 2 or 3 things, so it's not too overwhelming. So I'm going to join a networking group. I'm going to start a newsletter and put it on my website so people can join the newsletter. There's 3 things right there. Awesome.
Yeah, it's so simple. It feels really manageable.
It is, because it's bite-sized pieces. It's like, if you look at a big goal, sometimes it's too big. And it's like, I don't know how to get there. And so, this is what I help people with. It's like, let's break it down into bite-sized chunks. Okay? That foot-long, Subway sandwich, you're not going to eat it in one bite. Okay? You got to eat it one little bite at a time, or you're going to get sick. So
Can you imagine?
you're going to get sick to your stomach. So it's little bite-sized pieces. And when people look at it like that, then you look at all those little tasks and you know exactly what to put in your calendar. Because I find with a lot of people, they're like, but I start my Monday, and it's like, but what do I do? You never have to waste time with that. When you sit down with this chart and just chart it out, here's my goal. Here are a couple of buckets that when I fill them, I'm going to reach my goal. Now, how do I fill each bucket? That's what you put in your to-do list. It's so easy.
It's so easy.
So easy.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
So with this method, it's one medium-sized goal every quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When you're breaking that up and then you do the 3 different ones, I love that. How many annual goals do you think people should give themselves?
It depends.
Okay.
Do as I say, not as I do. I'm
Story of my life.
going to tell you that right, because I have 3 businesses, so it's like it's obscene. My goals, obscene. I'm just going to tell you that right now. For a normal person, she's not either.
No.
We're not normal. But I would say 2, maybe 3, and pick different parts of your life. Something personal, something professional if you have a business or a career, something health related. That's where I come in. Maybe something just for you. I mean, it could be emotional, it could be spiritual, but something to where you feel like I'm a better person because I made this goal. I'm a better person.
It's gonna sound really dumb, but I had a goal. It was a small goal. It was a small monthly goal because it's January and my birthday's this month. If you guys didn't know, my birthday's this month and I turned 30.
We're gonna sing.
I know.
It's gonna get ugly.
Actually, my birthday is on the end of it. It's on the 24th.
This is information I needed to know.
But everybody's telling me I should do something big, because I'm turning 30, and it's a milestone birthday. It really, really is. And so I've spent and I started it back in October when I did my first employee retreat. We went to Frankenmuth, and I literally asked people as I was we were walking around hanging out, I'm like, what did you do for your 30th, and what do you wish you would have done? I like to get other people's opinions on this kind of stuff. And they say, go somewhere. Go somewhere and do something with somebody or people you love. I'm like, that was the common thing. I'm like, okay, that sounds right. And so I'm like, I don't want to spend money. I've got another trip, I got a family trip coming up this in second quarter, and I was like, I want to I feel awkward spending money on myself. So I told myself, I'm like, I'm going to do something special for my birthday. So incredible. It's just for me. It's not for anybody else. And I did it. I decided I was going on a trip. We're going on a small trip. It's a small weekend trip. Come back right before my birthday, but I'm doing it, and it's been so difficult for me because I'm like, my January is booked up with jobs, and I'm in my brain. I'm like, ooh, but these dates you don't have a job, and I'm like, Amanda, you're going on a trip for yourself. I don't do this, and so it's been incredibly difficult. But I am following my theme for the year, which is structured balance.
Yes,
that's my theme for the year, so I'm sticking to it. So
yeah, and all those little steps to do that, and I think that's such an important thing that when you set a goal, it's the little steps, it's making the time, it's fitting it into your schedule, it's having the balance, and that's why I recommend pick goals for. There's many areas of life. I mean, you can pick a wellness goal for your body, and maybe it's not weight loss, maybe it's I need to sleep better. I need to get good sleep. And then something for your emotional state. Maybe it's I know I need to meditate because I go out into the world and I want to run people over with my car, and that's generally not accepted in this society.
You know what? I keep you say this, and here we go. Ready? Are we? No, not that I've run anybody over. Let's be
Have you been criminally charged for something?
No, I haven't.
I can get you out of jail for that, by the way.
So, I get I have emotions. I'm still working on my emotions. Hence, structured balance is my theme for the year. Purchased this little thing because I keep all my essential oils in here, and I got them labeled.
I love that so much.
So I keep all my little essential oils in here.
Do you have fun labels like get out of jail free oil?
Oh my god. I need to do that now.
There is one. It's called Peace and Calming.
Peace and calming. Yeah, there it is. So I put PNC. That's my peace and calming. I got my citrus. I got my lemon. This has been amazing. And that is also amazing. That's something else that Allie does. She just has so many businesses and goals. So another thing I like to recommend, getting back to the goals topic, I really put myself up there, is accountability partners. I think an accountability partner is something that a lot of people don't think about, they miss out on, and that is why they don't achieve their goals.
Yes.
An accountability partner. I know my 2022 goals, I didn't achieve every single one of them, but the people I had accountability partners for those specific goals, I achieved them. I achieved, roughly 70% of my goals from 2022, and one of the ones I didn't achieve was getting my children's book published, or drawing every day, or reading a book every month. Those were the three I didn't achieve, but it's because I didn't have accountability partners for those. I did my jiu-jitsu tournament that I wanted to do, and I've got a team that sticks behind me. I quit my day job, and I've got my husband that kept me accountable to that, and there's a whole slew of them that I was able to do because of accountability partner.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on accountability partners?
Absolutely. And I go about it in 2 different ways. So I have an accountability partner who's actually in South Carolina. And we use an app on our phone called Marco Polo.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it's a video app. So like I send her a video. I'm like, hey, this is what I'm doing today. You know, what do you got going on? And then she will literally Marco Polo me back and say, okay, this is what I'm doing. And we've been doing that for over 6 years. Over 6 years. So, because in the way my brain works, if I tell somebody that I'm going to do something, I will get it done.
Right.
But if I keep it to myself, it's really easy to say, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it next month. I'll do it next week. So that's the second thing. You could put it out on social media. Talk about having the public hold you accountable. There is no faster way that you are going to dig in and get your goal achieved, because if you have any amount of pride or self-worth or self-esteem, there is no way you're going to want your social media crowd coming back to you and saying, so how you doing on that? And it's like, well, you know, I'm horrible, I haven't done a thing. Nobody wants that. So I always recommend to people, put one of your goals out on social media. There is no faster way that you are going to be like that duck on the pond. You may look smooth and your little feet are going to be because it's like, I am not going to go back to my social media page and say, it's May and I haven't done anything. You're going to want to go back and say, it's May and I already did it.
I did it.
Yeah. But if that's a little too much, and trust me, I have essential oils that you can smell that will give you the courage to do that. But if that's a little too much, just pick a person who they are uplifting, they are positive, they are encouraging, because you do not need to pick an accountability partner that is going to let you slack off. So it needs to be somebody who's a real goal getter. They're a goal getter. And you can have different goals, but like you be accountable to them, they are accountable to you. And absolutely, that is such a phenomenal point. Such a phenomenal point. You have to do that.
You really do. And each other's accountability person. Everybody's got goals, whether they make it like a New Year's resolution or not. Everybody's got different goals. And so it's like, hey, I'm really wanting to clean up my kitchen. All right, well, put it in your calendar. Do it right now. Say that you're going to do it. And just go and do it.
Yeah.
And then like, hey, you were supposed to. Like,
How you doing on that?
How you doing on that?
Yeah.
I had a friend who was going to ask somebody out, and he said, they said, I'm going to do it on this day. And so we followed up with him on that day, and we're like, hey, did you go do that? Because we thought it was important. It was cute.
Yeah.
They needed the push. So.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's just getting somebody to give you a little nudge. You know, they're basically putting their foot on your backside and going, there you go.
There you go.
Sometimes you need a little push.
It's a little push.
Yeah.
Awesome. Is there anything else that you think from your side of life? If you guys didn't see, I have a blog post out, and it's all about planners. I love my planners.
I love planners.
Planners.
Oh my!
I switched from paper to digital. Actually, I use my tablet now for a planner, and I do that because I love paper. I love pens. I'm a very color person, and so I didn't want to keep carrying around a pen thing. So I could just change the color of my pen on the tablet. So I don't have to do that. So I use my tablet. I don't use a paper planner. I just use my tablet version now. But that's a tool that I think is extremely helpful to all the business owners out there. My favorite planner that has gotten close to my ideal planner is called My PA Planner. It stands for personal assistant.
Okay.
And they literally, like, the first 50 pages of this planner is all about goals.
Nice.
And like laying out like detail, like what are you going to do and how are you going to get there, getting down to your why.
Nice.
Love it so much. They don't give me anything. I just love them.
Nice. That is awesome. That sounds like the one that I use, which is called Cultivate What Matters.
Ooh.
And I mean, it's you get it. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful, and you answer all these questions, and they help you really dig down to what really matters.
Ooh, I like that.
Because you may change your goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
All the time.
you may have the goal to lose 20 pounds, but when you dig down to it, the goal is just really, you know what, I just want to have good energy. So 20 pounds has nothing to do with it. It could be, I need to do other things in life. I need to get moving, you know, come walk at the mall with me. I walk with all the elderly people in the winter. It's fun. So it helps you do that. So it sounds like a very similar concept, that it drills you down. So yeah, cultivate what matters.
I love that. So is there anything else that you use, that you recommend for people to use to help achieve their goals?
So yeah, so I actually have a class. It's on demand on my website right now. It comes with a workbook, and I literally walk you through the whole process. And it's a 3-hour class. I mean, it's that intense, and I have you go through the workbook and get really clear, and then set the goal, and then I check in with you, like.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, a couple times a year I check in. I'm like, so how's that going? But I, you know, even though I have a lawyer brain, I love to use tools that help get me into the right mindset. And this could be a whole different video that
sure.
we do. But I use essential oils and crystals, and they sound very woo-woo, but there's a lot of science behind how they literally change your mindset. They change how you think. For example, if your brain is just bouncing back and forth and you just can't settle down and goal set, frankincense oil is an oil that I use. It will absolutely stop your brain from going back and forth, so that you can actually think. You can actually sit and basically calm yourself down, so that you can sit and think and go through the plan.
Yes.
And figure out your why. And, you know, for those moments that you start talking yourself out of it, lemon oil. I mean, lemon oil is, it's like smelling sunshine, you know, which here in Michigan, we had, one sunny day in 2 months so far?
I had a client that moved here, asked, like, where's all the sun? And
Yeah.
they're like, it's gone for the next couple months.
Well, we'll see it in April. But you can literally smell lemon oil, and it lights up your prefrontal cortex, which helps you think and plan and do all of these things, and it gets you back on track. So I help people understand the oils that'll help you every step of the way when you try to sabotage yourself. And I also work a lot with crystals, and these may be pretty little stones. I actually teach the science of crystals and how you can hold a crystal and it will, just like an oil, quiet your brain so that you can think. Because one of the best things that I resisted for a long time is a morning meditation. Because you set your energy rather than jumping out of bed because the alarm just squealed at you, and you trip over something, and your kids are screaming, and your dog is like, let me out, I gotta go outside, and you're running behind, and you run out the door. Well, already at that point, your day is controlling you. You are not gonna touch your goal. I can guarantee that you're not gonna touch it. But when you take a moment in the morning to have a routine that includes quieting your mind, planning your day. How do you want your day to go? What do you want to do? And you start setting your non-negotiables. One non-negotiable is one step toward my goal. Non-negotiable. And I literally hold a crystal and I smell an oil, and it calms my brain down so that I'm not jumping into my to-do list. And so I teach classes on this, and I teach it from a science perspective, and when people really understand this, they're like, holy moly. I had no idea.
I think, and I'm still new to essential oils. I do use them now a little bit more frequently. It's starting to get into my habits and my routines a little bit more, but probably the biggest response I've ever had was, I'm a mom, and my son and my dog and everything, the clutter that, I'm not perfect. I got clutter in my house too. It's really overwhelming me, and I wanted to snap, and I almost did. I didn't though, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna go reach for that essential oil, and so I went for a very specific one, Freedom. I smelled it, and then I boiled, I did some hot water, and I just put some drops in it, and I just did this, and I just sat there for a minute. I'm like, Travis, in 5 minutes, I need to smell this, I need to drink this, and literally it felt like all of those super high energy, negative, tense feelings I had literally melted away. And I was like, oh, I can think straight now, and I'm not going to explode on everybody. And it was instantly saved the night. It saved the night, let's just say.
Yeah. I mean, they really can offer balance, and not just emotionally, but physically. And I help people understand that when you physically feel sick and tired all the time, do you think you're going to pursue that goal to write that book or to start that business? No, you're too sick and tired. So we got to work on that first. That's your first goal. You need to physically feel well, and then we're going to work on emotional balance, because if you're flying off the handle every 2 seconds, how are you going to get anything done? You're going to be a wreck. So it's this is what I love working with people, is to really get into balance, because you can. And I can totally attest to all of this. I mean, I walked away from my full-time legal career out in DC about 8 years ago and launched into this. And yes, I have 3 businesses, one of which is a nonprofit for my legal work, but you can balance all of it. You can balance being a mom and a career woman and owning a business. You can balance it without overworking and losing your mind in the process, and you can stay healthy. And that's what I love helping people with. And it's a variety of tools, which is why I have so many certifications, because everybody needs something different. It's worked for me. The system that I created for this class has worked for me and so many others. So I offer it, and it's super affordable. So if you struggle with this, check it out.
Yes, and I'll make sure that when I post it, it has all the links and everything to it too. And oh my goodness. So this was amazing. If you guys have questions about goals or achieving goals, setting goals, you want an accountability partner, let me know, and I can get you in touch with Allie. I can be an accountability partner. I love to be that kind of person for a lot of people. I literally will go back into a client's home, and I did this a couple weeks ago, and hadn't seen him for almost a year, honestly. And I didn't say anything. I was just going in to see what it looked like to get another consult on a different service. And they were so proud of it that they showed me. They're like, oh my God, Amanda, look at this. They're taking me around. And so I know in the back of their head all year long, they're like, no, we got to keep this good for Amanda. So I didn't hear about it, but I was like, they're accountability partners. So if you need to tell yourself, if I don't do it, Amanda's coming after me, I'll come after you. I'll do it.
She will.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. This was awesome.
Cheers. Cheers. And if you guys don't know, we are hanging out at Sweet Encounter Bakery, so excuse the noise that you hear in the background. I don't have a great setup yet, so you'll see me probably doing this setup in a few different places around town, honestly. Sweet Encounter Bakery, I want to give a quick shout out to Nikki and let you guys know she does amazing work. She's got a cute little cafe over here on Washington in the Knapp's building, and there's sit-down place, coffee, tea, best quiche I've ever had. Honestly, it's the best quiche. My son doesn't eat veggies, but he devoured the quiche. That was a spinach one.
Oh, yeah.
And their desserts, cakes, cupcakes, cookies, brownies, all of it gluten-free.
Gluten-free.
all of it gluten-free, and then they specialize in food allergies. So if you have a nut allergy, soy, if you're vegan, they have so many different options for you. So a shout out to Sweet Encounter Bakery, because I love you guys.
Oh, yes. Yeah. And Nikki gives back to the community so much. So yeah, come on down here.
If you haven't gone, you should really come. I met with Heather actually just before here. She'd never been here before.
Nice.
It's amazing. So thanks everybody. And again, if you have questions, just let me know, and I will help in every way I can. And I hope to do an interview like this every single month moving forward, kind of tying in with whatever theme I'm doing for the month. And you guys will hear me soon on what the February theme is. Kind of trying to decide between 2 different ones. So we'll see soon. All right. Bye.